When you guys think of classic movie locations, we think of New York streets, the beaches, or maybe even, some galaxy far, far away. Alright, jokes aside, what if I told you that some of the more memorable scenes in some of pop culture history were filmed at amusement parks? Real parks, real coasters, real stories, all of that. Today we're going to dive into the world of rides that made it into movies, TV shows, things like that, excluding George Lopez and Disney because that's a whole other copyright thing that I'm not even going to deal with right now. The parks that doubled as fictional worlds and some crazy behind the scenes facts that you guys probably didn't know about some of these. But first, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, maybe consider becoming a channel member. I got tons of channel videos coming for you guys now too, exclusive only to the channel members, so stay on the lookout for that, members. I got some coming for you, and a huge shout out goes out to you guys as well. Thank you for being a part of the channel. Now, let's go ahead and get into this, everybody. I'm going to kick it off with one that was originally at Boblo Island. Yes, Boblo Island here in Detroit, Canada, Amherstburg, whatever you want to call it, Windsor area, all of us, Boblo Island, Boblo. And if you guys didn't know, I got a Boblo Island documentary that I'm working on, so definitely stay on the lookout for that, because that's awesome, and just saying.
Now, I've always wondered who this Bob Lowe fella was.
But let's kick it off with a ride that literally kills people on screen. It's in Final Destination 3. The whole plot hinges on a deadly roller coaster premonition, and that coaster is the Corkcrew, which was at Playland in Vancouver, P&E Playland. But here's the twist. That same Corkcrew used to operate at Boblo Island. Yes, Boblo Island. Now, this coaster is built by Vekoma. The ride was relocated to P&E Playland in Canada after Boblo Island shut down. It's kind of crazy to think that a coaster once filled with Detroiters screaming for fun was now part of a movie at one point. The ride was running up until a certain point, but it's been closed by Thunderbolt or replaced by Thunderbolt now, so if you're going to try to ride Corkscrew from Final Destination 3, you can't, and some of the loops in there were definitely CGI'd and fake too, guys. The ride was very much not that big. Let's go ahead and move on to another one, Zombieland. This one was filmed in one of the coolest third act locations ever, especially for a zombie movie. The amusement park was Wild Adventures. The film's undead finale takes place at a fictional park called Pacific Playland, but in real life, the chaos was filmed at Wild Adventures in Valdosta, Georgia. It's a regional theme park, not a household name, but Zombieland gave it instant cult status. Remember that in Tallahassee, he locks himself in the haunted house and goes full zombie slayer mode with a gun in each hand? That was actually a shot in a ride building. Fun fact. Wild Adventures now leans into the Zombieland connection for its Halloween events, complete with themed mazes and even trails. Art imitating death, anybody? Thought that was a pretty cool one. Now, let's get into Adventureland. Before Jesse Eisenberg was dodging zombies, he was awkwardly working with games booths in Adventureland, a coming-of-age film loosely based on director Greg Mottola's real teenage job at an amusement park. The movie was filmed at Kennywood, just outside Pittsburgh, one of the oldest amusement parks in the US and practically a time capsule. And this isn't the first time it's going to get mentioned tonight either. You could spot several real rides like Phantom's Revenge, Thunderbolts, and the iconic Jackrabbit, all dressed up to look like a 1980s theme park full of fluorescent uniforms and heartbreak. Fun fact, Kennywood didn't change much for the shoot. It already had the retro charm baked in, and you guys, if you've been there, you just know it's got one of the coolest feelings in there, atmospheres, everything. So head on over to Kennywood and go check out some of the old Adventureland locations. Now, you know that part in Jurassic World where everything just goes absolutely nuts? Well, the bones of that world were built in the haunting ruins of a real-life amusement park, Six Flags New Orleans, a park frozen in time since Hurricane Katrina, now one of the eeriest parks in America, and partially torn down now. But here's the twist. The movie wasn't filmed inside the actual remains of the park's roller coasters or the Midway like urban legends suggest. Instead, it was built on a full-scale main street that was out in the parking lot of the abandoned park. The same empty park that once hosted cars, all of us out there, conversations, smelled the sights and sounds and churros and all that stuff, transitioned into a futuristic tourist trap for the dinosaurs. And they brought in a bunch of stuff, gift shops, IMAX signs, wide plaza pizza shops and all that stuff, but they spent a lot of time there too, about 11 weeks, prepping and shooting in New Orleans. The production team chose Six Flags New Orleans because it was remote, quiet, out of public view, and had just enough open infrastructure to work with. Plus, let's be real, it already looked pretty cool anyways for Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, whatever you wanted to do there. Nothing is left from the Jurassic World remains. Even when I went there, you couldn't see much. You could see where they had done some of the filming and set up shop and all that, but nothing's really there anymore. The Megasaurus food court was fictional in the set, but inspired by real-life theme park eateries. The scenes shot in Hawaii for Isla Nublar were kind of easy to cut up and make it look like it was in Main Street, New Orleans as well. It was really easy to do that. And they kind of just smashed the monorail and viewing area where film and, CGI stuff was brought in to do that. But a lot of it was filmed in New Orleans. Jurassic World's use of Six Flags New Orleans didn't just create movie magic, it kind of resurrected a forgotten park, and it gave it one last real hoorah, you know what I mean? The next time you watch Claire and Owen running from, a big old dinosaur, just know that somewhere underneath their feet, probably filmed in Six Flags New Orleans. Now the next one is one of my favorite TV shows out there, and this is one of my favorite moments. There's actually two within the show. One, they visit Disneyland. We're not gonna show too much of that because of copyright issues, obviously. But the other one, they go to the Santa Monica Pier. Both episodes are very fun. If you know Phil Dunphy's character at all, you will see that it is hilarious. And as Phil gets older and realizes that he can't ride the roller coasters at Disney, that one's freaking awesome. There are some really good episodes in there, and a few of them centered around amusement parks or going to amusement parks or amusement thrills in general. So you should definitely check these episodes out as well. Now this one's special. Mac Miller grew up in Pittsburgh. I grew up a fan listening to Mac Miller as a kid all the time. So when Balloonerism came out and I watched the visual album that came out with it, there was a part where basically he gets on the bus and goes to Kennywood, and it's just this magic explosion of colors and moments. And it's really how you feel watching it, because I'm not supposed to be the one telling you this. It's not my art. It's just a fantastic watch. So if you guys haven't, go find Balloonerism. I believe it's on Amazon, and you can watch it, and you will see some very cool animated visuals that will blow your mind and just bring you right to Kennywood. You'll see the Jackrabbit and other things like that. So it's very cool nods to that. Very cool nod to Mac Miller's hometown. Rest in peace, Mac Miller, all that. But it was very cool. And I can't believe I get to kind of interpolate Mac Miller and roller coasters right now. It's just a weird circle of light type thing. I mean, that was something I was listening to. I was 14, 15 growing up listening. So it's crazy, full life circle now, you know what I mean? I think amusement parks are underutilized, but they also make very natural movie sets. They're colorful, they're full of energy, they're weird, and in most cases they have nostalgia tinged throughout all of them. They already have storylines built in, and it's just very easy to use them as backdrops. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I missed any. Of course, there's plenty of other ones out there, and I'm going to get into some crazy moments in the amusement parks again, because another TV show blew up a whole entire park. So trust me, guys, we got plenty to get into. I might just make a whole episode about that by itself. Someone literally blew up an amusement park for a TV show. There's plenty of crazy things. If you guys like what you saw, definitely hit that like button on the video. Fun fact, Pacific Park is one of the most frequently filmed in amusement parks in the United States, appearing in Iron Man, Hannah Montana, Her, and dozens of commercials. It's basically the Times Square of the West Coast carnivals. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, a huge shout out goes out to all of our channel members. Thank you guys for bringing your ideas, being part of the channel, hanging out, all of that. And of course, as always, thank you for being a part of our spooky community and for coaster ghosting with Ghoster Coasters. Have a big screen day, everybody.